With the recent release of Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch, a lot of new players have picked up the game, and like most first-time players who came before them, eventually encountered the brick wall that is known as Ornstein and Smough. They're not the first big hurdle in the game. There's the gargoyles, the Capra Demon, and there is Quelaag. But there's nothing quite like your first time facing off against Snorlax and Pikachu. I've seen a lot of questions on the Dark Souls subreddit about how to beat them, and here's my personal guide, coming from a former scrub who is now successfully mediocre. If you're good at this game, this guide is not for you, and you might scoff at a lot of the advice I give here. If your encounters with Ornstein and Smough look something like this... Oh god, no, oh god, fuck this, no, fuck, no, I'm out of here.
It's gonna be fine, gonna be fine.
No.
You should probably turn around and look at them.
No, I'm staying here.
You're not being a very good Sombro right now.
No, fuck this.
I feel like you let your team down.
Oh shit. No.
I'm not sure you're gonna win the fight this way.
No! Then hello and welcome. There are a couple of different ways to kill Ornstein and Smough. Some are easier, some are harder, but all of them require a certain amount of preparation. I should note that I've never played Dark Souls 1 as a sorcerer, so this guide does not cover that build. Step 1. Die. Yeah, that's right. Walk into that arena, fight them, and die. Do it again, and again and again. For many people, their first encounter with Ornstein and Smough is a deer in the headlights experience. These two guys are intimidating. In your first couple of attempts, your abject fear is going to prevent you from fighting effectively. So go in there by yourself and die a couple of times. Until you stop being afraid of them and start actually seeing what's going on. That's okay. Step 2. Get yourself a good shield. Yeah, it's entirely possible to roll away from all the bullshit, but in order to do this, you need to be quite good at rolling. You get punished really hard for mistiming a roll, so my advice to you is to get yourself a good shield and upgrade it. The best shields for this encounter, in what I consider the order of usefulness, are the Eagle Shield, the Silver Knight Shield, the Black Knight Shield, and the Giant Shield. I don't want to drone on forever about shields, but if you want to know a little more about what makes these shields good options, pause the video and have a look at the chart I made. But no matter which one it is, do pick a shield. My guide will assume that you have one. Because the number 1 rule for every single option presented below is this: your shield only goes down immediately prior to attacking, or to recover stamina when you're safely behind a pillar. Step 3. Get the right weapon. Dark Souls veterans will tell you that you can beat the game with any weapon. They're not wrong, but some of them sure make it harder than others. No, there is no one definitive weapon for this fight. You don't even need a weapon that does a ton of damage in one hit. In my opinion, it's more important to do some damage in a controlled fashion rather than a lot of it erratically. Therefore, I prefer weapons that have a moveset that gives them some range, preferably ones that have a stabby attack in there. The shorter the reach, the closer you're gonna have to get to Smough in order to damage him. In the example shown here, I have one character with an Uchigatana, where I mostly use the one-handed heavy attack for Smough, and one character with a Divine Claymore, where I also use the one-handed heavy attack for Smough. Look at your weapons, look at their movesets, and if you do decide to switch to a new weapon, practice a bit with some other enemies before you attempt the boss, to familiarize yourself with the playstyle. What about infusions? Yeah, sure. Smough is pretty weak to lightning, so if you found a lightning spear in Sen's Fortress, you can do some pretty neat damage to him. In addition, its stabby stab moveset as a spear is pretty useful against Smough. However, you're gonna have to switch it out against Ornstein, because you might as well poke him with a toothpick. Ornstein is not weak to lightning at all. However, he takes some serious damage from fire. So if you happen to have access to a fire weapon, or you have an upgraded pyromancy flame and some good spells, that'll help. You even have a little time to switch weapons after the first partner goes down. My personal preference is to just stick to normal, non-infused weapons though, and that's what you'll see in this guide. Step 4. The actual fight. Are you still there? Good, now comes the fun part. There are 3 ways to do this ranked from easiest to hardest. Jolly cooperation, solo them by killing Ornstein first and Smough second, solo them by killing Smough first and Ornstein second. But before I go into the details of each of these options, let me briefly explain how this fight works in case you haven't gotten this far yet. You walk into the arena. They both attack you. As soon as one of them dies, the other will heal to full health and absorb power from their fallen buddy. Second phase Smough will absorb Ornstein's lightning powers, and Ornstein inherits Smough's amazing capacity for size? You fight them in an arena that looks something like this. You walk in through a fog door on one end, they'll approach you from the statues at the other end. Smough will approach you slowly, Ornstein will zoom at you immediately, so no matter if you're doing this solo or with buddies, the first order of business as soon as you're through the door is to get your shield up and get behind one of the pillars on your right or left. It'll take a couple of seconds for any summons to enter through the fog gate, so you'll have to hang in there until they come. The pillars in this room are your friend. As long as you're on one side of them and the bosses are on the other, and you keep about one step of distance between yourself and the pillar, you are completely protected from most of their bullshit. You can use this position to heal, either through use of a miracle or Estus, or wipe your cold, sweaty hands on your pants. You know you want to. Once the first boss is down, the second one will spawn in their new form, at full health, back where they started the fight. That is why it's generally a good idea to be close to the fog gate you came through at this point, if at all possible. I'll now describe how to do phase 1 of the fight for each option separately, and then do a combined rundown of phase 2, because the strategy for phase 2 is the same whether you're alone or not. Having a summon just gives you more time to heal. Jolly cooperation. If you have access to online play features in the game, this is the easiest method to kill them. Anorlando is quite possibly the most active co-op spot in the entire game. You can pretty much always find a summon sign right next to the Anorlando bonfire. Alternatively, you can summon Solera of Estora. His summon sign is on the stairs in the room outside the boss door. If you've chosen a human buddy, it is on you to decide how the fight goes. The summoning etiquette is that the host picks the first boss to go down, while the summon distracts the other one. They'll kite away the other boss from you, keeping them occupied while not damaging them somewhere far away from you so you can kill your target in peace. Summoning Solera is a bit more unpredictable because he just attacks whomever he wants to. Try to kite the one you get far away from him because his AI can be quite idiotic and switch targets mid-fight. Beating first phase Ornstein with a summon. The pillars can be useful when fighting Ornstein in phase 1, but generally, you don't really need them for him. They're there to protect you from Smough in case he escapes your partner. Many of Ornstein's attacks can be sidestepped fairly easily, and you can just run in circles around him. He's got a swing combo of up to 4 attacks, where you can just walk or roll behind him and hit him after his swings. But a safer bet is to just avoid or block all of them. He's got a spear slam that has a very small hitbox and can easily be avoided. Attack him once after he's done it, then get your shield back up. He can cast a lightning bolt, which you can evade easily simply by taking a step to the side. If you're very close to him when he casts this, it'll actually be a lightning stab. Just block it and take a step to the side, just in case. He's also got an attack where he will slide his spear along the ground and then do an upward thrust. This one does a lot of damage and takes a lot of stamina to block. However, it goes in a straight motion, so when you see him start to kneel to initiate this attack, roll or step to the side. Remember to keep your shield up when your stamina bar is full, and to only attack him when you've got time. No desperation stabs. You're gonna want to keep your Estus for when you mistime second phase Smough's lightning butt slam. As always, you'll want to finish off Ornstein on the side of the room close to the fog wall, so that you'll have some distance from Smough after his power-up. If you picked Smough, you want to kite him to a pillar. Stay about 1 to 2 steps away from the pillar to avoid being hit by attacks that might clip through them. Pull up your shield to be safe. Now, you'll dance with Smough around the pillar. If possible, always try to strafe to the right, because that's the side you want to be attacking him from. This is because his stupidly oversized hammer moonlights as a shield, and will get in the way of most of your attacks. Wait for him to do one of his big attacks, the butt slam or his hammer smash. Both of these have a long recovery, so after you've avoided them by rolling or strafing to the right a bit, is a great opportunity to quickly approach from the right, poke him once, and only once, and then retreat behind your pillar again with your shield up. Aside from these attacks, he has a jumping hammer attack, which you can simply avoid by rolling or walking to the side. Another of his more useful attacks, for you that is his hammer sweep, because if you roll into him while he's doing it, you won't take any damage and can actually hit him once before retreating. Very rarely, he'll follow it up with a second sweep, but if you're still pressed to his body, it'll miss you completely. His charge attack can do massive damage, but is easily stopped by your friend, the pillar. Keep doing this until he's down. If you mistime something and take damage, you can wait for another attack and safely heal behind the pillar. Don't take unnecessary risks. If you feel like you started running to attack a bit too late, abort and run back. Just remember to occasionally have a look over to what your summon is doing over there with Ornstein to make sure they're not too close. Beating first phase Ornstein solo. So, you have a masochistic streak and have decided to kill him solo. Good on you. Now you're gonna think to yourself, 2 versus 1, that's really unfair, I gotta kill one of them ASAP. And you're right, but unless you're one of those amazing players, which we've already established you're not, ASAP can take up to half an hour. Now, you're gonna have to face both of them alone, but you're about to kill Ornstein first. This is the easier option because Ornstein is faster than Smough, which means the big guy is going to spend most of the fight catching up with you two. And additionally, second phase Smough is a lot easier than second phase Ornstein. So what you want to do is run around the room, hiding behind a pillar at a safe distance while keeping both of them in your sight. Keep locked onto Ornstein. He can zoom around quite a bit, and the last place you want to be is the filling of a golden armored meat sandwich. Keep switching pillars and even room sides until you're in a spot where Smough is somewhere far off, or he's just done one of his slow attacks like a butt slam or a hammer smash. And attack Ornstein once, provided he isn't just about to poke your face. Otherwise, keep your shield up, use the pillars, and watch your stamina. Don't get greedy, not even when he's really low on health. Bosses can always kill you, no matter how low their health bar. And if your last attack on Ornstein before he dies is a trade, you'll start phase 2 with the immediate need to heal. This is the reason why soloing Ornstein and Smough takes a long time. You only want to get your hits in when neither of them is about to smack you in the face. You might have to spend quite some time waiting for each opportunity. But slow, steady breaths and patience will win the day. Beating first phase Smough solo. Remember when I said earlier that killing Ornstein first and Smough second takes a long time? Well, this way around takes even longer. Why is that? Well, you're going to have to kill Smough first without taking damage from Ornstein, who is constantly zooming around you like a preschooler who got into the candy stash. Again, you can't really damage Smough from the left side, you'll have to poke him from the right, and Ornstein seems to know this because he'll spend a lot of time over on the right flank. So you, the ever-patient player, will have to kite them around pillars until you've maneuvered everyone into a position where Ornstein is on the left, has just done an attack and is therefore unable to hit you, and Smough has also done one of his long wind-down attacks. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Run and stab him once and immediately retreat and raise your shield, because I guarantee you'll see Ornstein's spear poking through Smough almost immediately. Now, all you have to do is wait for the right time to do this again. Sounds easy, right? Ha! But with patience, practice, and enough tries, you can do it. Phase 2 Smough. Now you're facing Big Smough. He's easier to beat than Big Ornstein because he's slower, more predictable, and he takes more damage from your attacks. But if you do get hit by him, you take a ton of damage. So make sure you don't. He has pretty much the same moveset as earlier, only now it's lightning charged and more powerful. The big killers are his hammered charge attack and his electric butt slam. The former hits like a truck, but is easily avoided by making good use of a pillar. Do not try to block it unless you have no other option. The butt slam is telegraphed pretty early, however it has very big range. You can roll backwards several times to avoid it, however I prefer the safe option of walking backwards with my shield up. Yeah, you'll take some damage, but you've avoided the complete catastrophe of doing bad rolls and getting killed in one hit. Either way, after the electricity starts disappearing, run in to jab him once if you think you have the time, then run back behind a pillar immediately. Other good times to do damage to him is after he slammed his hammer into the ground. Remember to always strafe to the right of the pillar because you won't damage him if you hit his hammer, which is to the left. If you've summoned help and Smough is currently on your partner, you can run to his backside and poke him in the butt from there. Just be aware that his hammer swing can hit you in the face from this spot, so when you see him start to swing, get some distance. Smough can actually be stunned if he's hit enough times, which is possible with 2 players. You and your partner can keep doing this, however keep an eye on your stamina bar and always leave yourself somewhere around 30% of it to make an escape. Phase 2 Ornstein. Once Smough is dead, Ornstein will rub his belly for luck and absorb his size or something. He will be bigger, have longer reach, and he'll inherit Smough's butt slam attack, now charged with lightning. The good news is, Big Ornstein's butt slam has a smaller range and does less damage than Smough's. When he does his slam, you can easily roll backwards or even just walk backwards to avoid it. Personally, I walk backwards with my shield up because I think it's safer than mistiming a roll and eating the damage, but this is up to you. What I generally try to do with Big Ornstein is to hug his legs, keep my shield up, and wait until he's done an attack and hit him once. Shield up, rinse and repeat. This will let you avoid most of his attacks with the exception of the butt slam, which is telegraphed pretty far ahead. Ornstein's big killer is his lightning spear and pale attack. He'll charge his spear with lightning and skewer you into a substantial amount of damage. The most dangerous thing about this attack is its shitty hitbox. Most people are going to try to roll away from it, but this is wrong and won't work. Instead, avoid it by rolling into his legs where it shouldn't be able to hit you. Lag-inspired hijinks excluded. But really, you can avoid most of his bullshit by staying between his legs, keeping your shield up, and attacking him after he's made his move. The second phase of the fight is pretty similar, whether you're going solo or with a summon. Except doing it with a buddy gives you the opportunity to run away and heal more easily. Or to run far away and let your summon kill Ornstein, actually. That's not cool, but hey, maybe you're not cool. Whatever you do, don't get overconfident. Just because it's 2 versus 1 doesn't mean he can't kill you. 1 hit at a time is enough. Don't start using up all your stamina to damage Ornstein while he's focused on your summon, because he can turn the tables on you pretty quickly. Big Ornstein can actually poke his spear pretty far through the pillars, and even jump on the stumps, so keep that in mind when trying to Estus safely. 2 pillars will do the trick. In general, though, you're better off fighting him in the middle of the room and not let him get close to the walls. Since he'll want to hug his legs, being close to the wall will limit your ability to escape from certain attacks. Furthermore, this is not a situation where you want to fight the camera and the boss at the same time. Whittle him down 1 careful attack at a time and enjoy the luring you get, as well as the knowledge that you'll now have access to buying Ornstein's armor from Domhnall of Sina, which not only looks pretty cool, but it's just straight up very good. So this is how to beat Ornstein and Smough, even when you're not that good of a player yet. There are some people on the internet who are very vocal about getting good, and scrubs, and casuals, who gatekeep achieving things in the game by saying you didn't really do them unless you did them alone. Don't listen to them. There is no shame in summoning. There's no glory in being so stuck on a boss that it makes you give up. In fact, there is no glory in beating them solo either. It's a game. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. So do your thing, have fun. You can always try to one-up yourself on your second playthrough or maybe even a New Game Plus.